Ah, hey there. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Lenny, and I'm turning this cargo trailer to a tiny house on wheels. Let's get right into it. So, if you've been following along with the channel so far, you will know that I've made some really great progress on this build, but it's nowhere near done yet. So we've got a lot of finishing touches and a lot more videos coming soon. So in this video, I'm going to be running you through the install of this window, my bed, and my couch. So, if you've watched my other video on when I installed the windows in this trailer, you will have noticed that the RV windows have a very specific wall thickness that they need. So I had to build out a frame first around where the window was going to be that was the right thickness for that specific window. So that is step one in installing this window.
All right, let me show you what I'm scheming for my window. Yeah, so it's finally time to put this window in, that one right there. Because I got to do that before I do the bed, and I want to do the bed. So we're doing the window. I got this bar, which the bed is going to mount to, and it's also going to be the outside mounting point for the window that goes right above the frame that I already built, way up there. So let me show you what I did. I drilled some holes and counterbored them so I could get bolts in here. Oh, that one doesn't come out. What about this one? Okay, none of them come out, but you can kind of see it's a bolt in there, counterbored in, and it sticks all the way through this 1/2 inch thick piece of MDF and out the bottom. And so I just checked the depth, and yeah, that's how you check the depth of unconventional setups for 80/20. You got to do a test fit. You got to make sure it doesn't bottom out in the slot, or else you aren't going to get tight. And this is literally perfect. That's going to work so well. So this is now 1.5 inch thick. I have these two pieces here, which are conveniently red. Probably going to sand that a bit. Okay. Those are also 1.5 thick. So between those, I'm going to form the window frame over here, and then I'll be able to put my window in, and then I'll be able to put my bed up. So let's go.
So as you can see here, the frame is already installed. I did that in a previous video. So that's where the window's going. And I cut the steel beams of the trailer to do that. So yeah, it's all framed in 80/20. And what I'm doing here is just adding 1.5 inches of thickness around the frame, because the RV window that I bought requires a 2.5 inch thick wall, which is super thick, and I didn't realize that when I bought it. But at this point, it's just easier to space out all around and make a nice frame for the window to fit into. So there's the completed frame, 2.5 inches thick on every side. And the next step is just to drill some holes so I know where I'm at when I'm outside. And then I head outside and use a Sharpie to draw the outline of where I'm going to cut. And then I take my jigsaw and just run around and cut my aluminum sheet metal siding off the trailer. Then a little test fit to make sure everything fits nice. You know, a little extra trimming is always required. Because I want it to be tight. Then the next step is to add the caulk and make sure it's all waterproof, and then just stick it in there. And then I head inside and screw the backing plate in from the backside. And that's pretty much it.
And just like that, we got a finished window that's looking great. Okay, so the idea for the bed is that it's going in the back of the trailer, and on the bottom I'll have my garage, which will have bike storage plus a bunch of tool storage, my garage shelves, and a workbench. And then the bed will be above that. And I want to be able to raise and lower the bed, which is key, so that I can kind of walk under there. You know, I can raise the bed to the ceiling and walk under there and have some livable space. I'm building the bed frame out of 80/20, then doing plywood on top of that and a mattress. It's going to be a queen size bed. Okay, so my plan to get the bed to raise and lower is to put each corner of the bed on linear rail bearings. It honestly ended up not really working that well, and I'll show you that right now.
All right, I've had these linear rail bearings in my apartment for so long because I needed to buy them in order to design the bed and get that figured out. They've just been sitting there. But anyway, it's a linear rail and a bearing, and it goes like that. Linear rail bearing, whoa! And that's what my bed's gonna be mounted to. And I got these for mounting them to the wall, and then I just made these, drilled some holes in some aluminum, got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they screw on like that, and those will interface with my 80/20 bed. And that's how that will work. Now I gotta connect them here. So this is why I was doing the window this morning. I'm gonna connect them up here, and then I gotta do another rail 80/20 thing down there. Let's go.
So here's a quick time lapse of me just putting my bed frame together. And here you can see I got my rail bearings mounted on the walls in all 4 corners. And so I'm screwing my bed frame into the rail bearings. And then unfortunately, when I go to raise and lower the bed, I was expecting it to slide pretty nicely, but it absolutely did not.
Let me show you what I got here. You can see down here, these are my linear rail bearings for the bed. Ended up taking them off. Here's the whole bed frame leaning against the wall. I took them off because they were just binding up too overly constrained. They literally wouldn't raise and lower. So I'm just getting rid of them, and I decided to come up with a different way to mount my bed. And that is these. This is called twin slot rail. So these rails literally, just gonna mount them like this with my plus nuts straight into the steel beams. And then they got these brackets that hook in just like that. A pair, so 2 of these has a 450-pound load capacity. So I'm gonna use 1 on each corner, 4 total. There should be plenty of load capacity for my bed. And then I'll use some pulleys to raise and lower it. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, we'll get back to the bed at the end of the video, but for now, let's talk about the couch. So the plan for the couch is that it's going to have a butt plank that you sit on, and that butt plank will be on drawer slides so that it can slide in and out. Then there'll be a back plank that you lean against, and that will have wheels against the wall so that as the butt plank slides out, you kind of recline. So it'll be a nice reclining couch, and I'm also gonna have storage underneath.
Got my second drawer slide mounted over here. These drawer slides just come with plenty of holes. You can see this one has there's like 12 holes there. I'm only gonna use 4 of them. So I just pre-insert my T-slot nuts. And you know, I did the same thing with the backing over here to get this mounted. And then here's my bar. It's just gonna slide right on here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. 100% can't do it one-handed. Maybe. Oops. Way harder one-handed. Okay. And then I just tighten that down. Perfect. And here's the butt plank for my couch. Hinges up for access to the diesel heater and storage. This will all be full of crap, no doubt. But yeah, butt plank is installed. All I did was a couple of hinges up in here. We got 4 hinges mounted just like that. I kind of hate that all the weight is getting pushed right on these hinges. Like when you're sitting on it, you got the 2 sides, and then you got the 4 hinges, and that's what's supporting the weight. So I actually just have this interesting idea where I can just take these extra bits of 80/20 that I have, and bolt them on like that as additional support. And that should work pretty well. So I'm gonna do that. And the couch is looking pretty good. Got my back piece all installed. Got the wheels on there. I still need to put wooden boards here for these wheels to slide on. So for now, they're just on these metal beams. But yeah, the butt plank opens for access. And then we just, oh geez, I should be doing this. Check out my couch. Access to storage and reclining functionality. That's gonna be super comfortable. I'm excited. Just got hinges from here to here. Separate set of hinges for this. And it's all set up. Now we just need cushions, and I'm gonna install some wood for those wheels to roll on so they're not just on the steel, because that's gonna be a finished wall. So we're getting there. All right, check this out. I'm pretty stoked on this. This is my couch, and I needed a way to keep the back from falling down while driving, because I realized that it kind of just flops forward and then the hinges get all crunched and there's a lot of pressure there. Not good. So what I was doing before is I was just extending the couch all the way while I drove. Sometimes I would forget. So anyway, here's my solution. A little eyelet threaded in there and a little stud going up there. Let me see if I can set up the tripod and show how this works. All right, so there's the stud and the loop. And then as I pull the couch out, reclines, push it back up, done. Locked in place. Quick update on the bed. I just got my pulleys hung. This is a good view because the insulation fell off here. So we got my riv nut, plus nut thing, threaded eyelet to pulley. And I just did one of those on each corner. 2, 3, 4. Check this out, got my bed installed. There's my mattress, my bed. Got it sitting on my shelving brackets on all 4 corners. The plywood in there. And what I got going on over here is my little pulleys. I'm working on getting my rope system going. Something tells me this isn't gonna work. 4 pulleys right on this one hook. Seems like a bad idea. It's just gonna be a mess. Maybe I can double them up. Anyway, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna do a bunch of pulleys. Got them tied off like that to the base of this bed. Seems to be working pretty well.
Oh, well, my pulley system didn't work. I showed you that before. So I've torn most of that down. It's too much friction. I tried looping it up, down. So there was a lot of multipliers of force. And then I think with all the pulleys, it was just too much friction. I'll figure something else out to raise the bed up and down and secure it. For now, resting on my brackets, but I lost a bracket when I was driving here this morning. So we're resting on 2x4s on this side and way over on this side. And this is a structural cabinet, so that should be fine. So the bed's looking good. Bed's looking good. Just got to throw some blankets on there and I'm going to be fast asleep. Well, this bed is proving to be a bit more challenging than I anticipated. I'm going to have to save that for another video because I came up with an awesome solution that involves a motor for my bed. So I'll be a whole video dedicated to that coming in the future. So subscribe so you don't miss that. And thank you for watching.